In 2013, my husband Kyle and I were sitting in our Section 8 apartment in small town Kansas, and he told me something that I'll never forget. Running your own business is the best way to make lots of money. And when I heard that, I had sheer panic and confusion because starting a business seemed really stressful and something that seemed like would take up a lot of my time. Luckily, there is one tool that makes it a whole lot easier. Starting a business can seem really daunting, and I know because I've done it twice. From trying to create your brand identity to mapping out the website, and let's not forget all of the legal complexities of just putting together a legitimate business. Which route do you even go and try to make this a really professional entity, whether you have a really great business idea or a side hustle that's now really starting to take off and you're dabbling with the idea of making it legitimate. There's a lot of steps that goes into starting a business, and it can be really confusing. So it's funny because back in 2013, I had no desire to start my own business. I was really on this corporate ladder and this corporate path, mainly because I saw my university push that way, and entrepreneurship really wasn't a thing that was discussed inside of universities. So in my 20s, I really wasn't even thinking about it and thought, this is just for rich people, this is not for me. Until 2 years later, I actually formed my first business 2 years after that conversation, formed my own business. And then after that, I formed a second business in 2017, which is known as Debt Free Millennials, and I'm still operating it today. So when you get that urge to really form that business and you have a product or a service idea, where do you even start? Well, luckily, today's sponsor, Tailor Brands, is about to make starting a business from scratch a whole lot easier, because they have an all-in-one package solution for you so that you don't have to go running off in 12 different directions and take a lot of time in that process to get your business up and running so that you can start making lots of money. Tailor Brands not only helps you form an LLC, get business licenses and permits, but it also helps you design really amazing logos and a website and really help you understand what goes into that legal entity information with getting things like the right documents, your EIN number. There's actually a lot of behind the scenes work that goes into starting a business, which is why Tailor Brands is a really great solution for those wanting to get those businesses up and running without feeling like they have to spend weeks or even months to figure out how to do it on their own. So I love that this tool is available for entrepreneurs, because when I was forming my first business, I was doing a marketing consulting business. I actually had to walk myself down to City Hall, file a fictitious business name, file myself as a sole proprietor, get an EIN, and I really didn't understand the biggest benefits of an LLC versus a sole proprietorship at that time. Then when I went to go form Debt Free Millennials in 2017, I felt like I had to do the whole process all over again, get the city license permit for my tax certificate, file the business with the state, and really understand my tax liabilities that goes into it. What do I even have to set aside for taxes? All of those conversations were kind of running in my head, and I really didn't know what direction to go in, which is why Tailor Brands not only walks you through that process, but it has really amazing free articles that answers those questions that you probably have. So why wouldn't you just DIY this and try to figure it out yourself versus Tailor Brands? The first biggest benefit for me is time. It saves you so much time from trying to figure out what website to go to, and we all know government websites are notoriously known for just being clunky and hard to figure out. They have too many links and everything seems broken, right? Tailor Brands makes it really easy for you to get to exactly which form you need, which form to complete and submit in order to set up that business. Plus, they have the power of AI tools. With AI, you can powerfully create logos logos and branding to really elevate that brand and make it professional and not spend a whole lot of money on graphic design work or trying to outsource this yourself. And it doesn't stop there. You can actually create a website and merch inside of this platform. So everything's cohesive, everything's in one spot. You don't have to worry about setting up your domain and your hosting provider and building the website with a completely separate platform, and everything is just kind of all over the place and you don't have it in one spot, which makes Tailor Brands really an attractive solution to not only form that LLC, but to get the branding and the website and the merch up and running. And the best part about the LLC formation is that you don't have to work with an outside lawyer, you don't have to work with an outside registered agent. Everything is together and step by step so that you know exactly what to work on. Okay, speaking of LLCs, because I did mention I started out as a sole proprietor and then moved into an LLC, what exactly is an LLC? An LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. It is a type of business entity that protects your personal assets from what's going on in your business. If something were to happen, a legal situation that you encounter with your business, your personal assets are protected when you're in an LLC. Sole proprietorship is not the case. So as I pivoted into the LLC formation, I really saw the benefits of having that legal protection in place. And speaking of LLCs, it's not just an LLC and then you're up and running. You can actually pick a type of formation of how you want to be incorporated with that LLC. I actually found this really incredible article on Tailor Brands that really spelled it out for me. So LLC versus corporation, which to choose for your business. So actually they gave this really amazing short summary here, which for my brain, I really need them to speak to me like an 8-year-old, and they did exactly that because I don't have that LLC knowledge and I really want to learn how this is set up so that I know exactly what to expect, especially for taxes. So then you can see the entity type is the LLC, which are easy to form. You simply select a state, LLC name and a registered agent, all the good stuff, and then it tells you how you're taxed. So LLCs are a pass-through entity, meaning owners pay taxes on their returns. Now, single member LLCs pay tax as a sole proprietorship. So keep that in mind. You are taxed the same. If you do the S corporation filing, which is what I did, you actually do not pay income tax at the corporate level. Instead, profits and losses of the business pass through to the owners who report them on their tax return. This is what I did, and I found that Tailor Brands had the articles and the information for me to make the right decision for myself. Obviously, you have to do what works best for you and really understand that process to know what is your tax liability. We all want to try to minimize the amount of taxes that we pay, especially with our business. So I found that this article really could help me break down exactly what was the difference between just a standard LLC versus the S corporation versus the C corp. So one of the first places that you could start if you're thinking about starting a business from scratch is just getting those questions answered so that you know exactly what you want to do when you go to file that business, such as what are the differences between a sole proprietorship and LLC or filing as an S corp. Also, how much does it cost to start an LLC? What is a registered agent? Can you actually transfer your EIN from a sole proprietorship to an LLC? I actually had a lawyer tell me, and I paid money for this advice, I actually had a lawyer tell me that I could transfer my EIN from my sole proprietorship to my LLC and just request that from the IRS. So we spent time drafting a letter. I had to find the old EIN number, which is your employee identification number that you use in order to pay your taxes online with the federal government. So it's really interesting that this lawyer had requested me to write this letter to get the EIN transferred over when Tailor Brands actually had an article that told me, if we scroll down to the bottom here, can you transfer And they say right here, even if you mail the IRS requesting to transfer your EIN from your sole proprietorship to your LLC, you'll most likely receive a rejection letter. And that's exactly what happened. Had I had this tool in front of me, then I would have known that that was a waste of time, a waste of resources, and that I would have just received a new EIN with my LLC. So if you're still skeptical about whether or not this is a tool that you should use, let's go ahead and dive into the platform, and I'll show you exactly how this works so that you feel comfortable and confident to set this up on your own. All right, so whether you're starting a product or service-based business, Tailor Brands can help you launch this business in literally just a few clicks. So I'm actually going to put in a business that I've wanted to start for a while, which is a food truck. And not just any food truck. I wanted to do soups and sandwiches. So I'm gonna say Justine's Soup Truck is what I want. And you're like, soups on a truck? Are you kidding me? Trust me, they've got locked lids in place, and we're gonna make this work. Okay, so all you have to do is answer a few questions of what you wanna focus on today. What I really wanna focus on is business guidance, the LLC. I wanna know especially like tax permits. Let's go ahead and do taxes and accounting, license and permits, and then I want to trademark this name. I want to make sure like my EIN is set up, all of the legal stuff. So let's hit next, and this is going to be physical goods, and then this is going to be on the go brick and mortar. I'm guessing a food truck would be more like brick and mortar because it is like a physical shop, but it's on wheels. So let's see. All right, we'll say food truck. There we go. Let's say I'm starting a food truck that sells soups and sandwiches on the go. And this is just an idea right now. And I'd love to launch this in a few months. And let's scratch off things Justine's Soup Truck already has. So I don't have any of this stuff already. So we're gonna click none of the above. How did we discover Tailor Brands? Instagram. Okay, let's see what they've got for me. 6 steps. Okay, this is really easy, right? The first thing that we gotta do is form the LLC. Second is to operate legally. We got to figure out which permits and licenses I need to have, the sales tax permit, an EIN, a trademark, and then figure out the taxes and accounting. So already from the get-go, I know exactly what to zero in and focus on, which is the LLC. So then it's going to ask you for your email so that you can create the account. Then as you can see, as we're going through this process, it's really, really easy to just step by step. There's no legal jargon that I got to figure out. It's all very straightforward. Like the LLC will be formed in California. All right, then we got to see exactly like where the EIN is, which is for how you file your business taxes. So then you can see exactly what things you need. Do you want the EIN? Do you want that plus the license report and legal documents, or handle it yourself? And I find that as you're adding things, you're gonna see exactly how much this is all together in terms of like paying to get some of these things. First of all, the EIN is free, so you can just select that and then continue on. Then you can figure out who your registered agent is, and if you try to do this on your own, it's like trying to figure out who are the legitimate registered agents and then who are the scammers. So that's why using Tailor Brands is really easy to do. And then you can see exactly how much that costs as you have that person as your registered agent or that business. So using Tailor Brands, they're gonna tell you exactly why you have to have a registered agent, like that's actually part of the LLC. And then we're gonna hit next. And then making sure that things like annual reports are filing, maintain in good standing, all this good stuff. You can make sure that your LLC is compliant, add that to your cart, and then figure out, get a domain, the logos, get all the other marketing tools that you need to set up your business for success. So I'm gonna say get your LLC. Since I'm not sure when I'm gonna be starting my soup truck, I'm gonna say I can wait, so 2 weeks. Get the operating agreement. There's actually a lot of different documents that you need with your LLC that a lot of people don't really know about, but this is required. So get your operating agreement is definitely something that you wanna add. So we're gonna see all of this kind of move through the plan, and then you can see exactly what plan is best for you and then proceed. What's also unique about Taylor Brands is that you can actually file for trademarking your business name inside of the platform. So you don't have to go to a trademark attorney in order to get that process started. You can do it inside of the Taylor Brands account that you've set up. So when I was doing this for Debt Free Millennials, it very much was piecemeal. I had to use one attorney to file the LLC, a different attorney to start the trademarking process, and then some of it I had to DIY and figure out the sales permits, the tax permits on my own, and then also file it with the state of California, pay that franchise tax. It was such a mess. I wish that I would have used a platform like Taylor Brands to make it really easy. That way I wasn't spending a lot of time doing all this back-end stuff that I just couldn't figure out on my own, that everything was streamlined so that I could get back to my actual business and back to the services that I want to provide so that I can make some money with my business, of course. Starting a business today is so much easier than it was just a decade ago. A platform like Taylor Brands makes it super simple to start your entrepreneurial journey, which is something that I'm extremely passionate about. And as you go along in your financial journey, you're going to see something like starting your own business as a way to catapult you to the next level of your finances. If you're interested and you have that itch and that desire, and you've always had that business idea, take this as your sign to get started. Click the link below to check out Taylor Brands, see if that's the right solution for you. And if you are into the entrepreneurial journey, keep chasing those dreams, fam. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll catch you in my next video.